Welcome back, my fellow Force users, to the Triple S Variety channel. In this video, I'll be highlighting everything I thought to be important, interesting or noteworthy from the 7th episode of the first season of Ahsoka titled Dreams and Madness. Now, let's begin. Point number 1, I loved the smile Mon Mothma had after Hera said it wasn't direct orders she was ignoring but Xiono himself. No one likes you, Xiono. Point number 2, Xiono scoffing at the reports of Jedi, false Jedi, star maps, star whales and distant galaxies reminded me of Janos Slynt in Game of Thrones, who laughed disbelievingly when Jon mentioned Mance Rayder having giants with him. Ignorant morons, the pair of them. Point number 3, Xiono's clearly never heard the phrase absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, since he believes there is no Imperial remnant, as there is no proof, as he sees it, of its existence. My god, the blissful, willful ignorance this guy lives in is insane. Point number 4, Carson mentioning the conflict on Mandalore means we must now be past the 3rd season of The Mandalorian, at least with this and probably the past few episodes. Point number 5, well, if it isn't old Goldenrod himself. Having C-3PO relay a message from Leia is actually a pretty nifty way of not having to recast or CGI Leia to have her appear, and revealing Leia to be the leader of the Defense Council explains why she couldn't appear here in person, and also how she manages to create the resistance against the First Order later on. Point number 6, Chopper was so close to committing a few war crimes after hearing Xiono refer to C-3PO as a mere droid. Point number 7, I didn't actually expect to see Anakin again after his appearance in episode 5, so him coaching Ahsoka here as a hologram was a nice surprise, and having him name drop Grievous, Ventress and Dooku was also a nice touch. Point number 8, wow, Morgan got this minefield set up pretty quick. I'm glad we didn't actually see any of the Purrgil die from going through it. I was worried we might, and that would have been too sad. Point number 9, I said it before and I'll say it again, you really could do with putting some autocannons on your ship, Ahsoka, for situations just like this. Point number 10, come on Thrawn, you should have already known that Anakin was Ahsoka's master from the novel Thrawn Alliances, like I mentioned in my previous video. Maybe he somehow just didn't put 2 and 2 together when Padme mentioned Anakin's former Padawan and then also said the name Ahsoka. Maybe he thought they were 2 different people or something, I don't know. Point number 11, Thrawn must be getting so tired at this point of Morgan always questioning his orders and decisions. I wonder how much longer he's going to put up with her. Point number 12,
The Emperor died.
That's what people say.
I mean, it does make sense some might doubt Sidious is actually dead since they only have Luke's word on that to go on, but then the counter to that would be, well, if he ain't dead, then where is he? Why hasn't he rallied and retaken control of what's left of the Empire? But of course, we the viewers know what happened to him and where he is now, just like how we know how he came back. Unlike Poe, who could only say the very justified line of somehow Palpatine returns. That ain't bad writing, it's realistic. Point number 13, it's nice to finally get a mention of Zeb and to hear what he's been up to. Hopefully he gets to make an appearance, if not in the next episode, then possibly in season 2.
We interrupt this Triple S Variety channel video to bring you this important message. Have you remembered to carry out the 3 S's? S number 1, subscribe to the Triple S Variety channel. S number 2, smash that like button. And S number 3, share this video with friends, family and relevant communities. We now return you to your Triple S Variety channel video already in progress.
Point number 14, I completely failed to realise in the last episode that Clotho of the Great Mothers is played by the great Claudia Black of Pitch Black, Farscape, Stargate and Uncharted fame. Amazing actress. And yes, the Great Mothers have names. The one played by Claudia Black is called Clotho, or Clothau, not sure which. The one played by Gerald Prescott, who most will probably recognise having played Jackie in the first season of The Walking Dead, is called Actropor. And the one played by Jane Seymour, who before appearing in Ahsoka played the Borg Queen in Star Trek Picard, is called Lachesis, or Lakesis, I don't know. And all 3 are based on the Fates, a trio of goddesses called Clotho, Atropos and Lachesis in Greek mythology, who shaped the destiny of each human, often expressed in textile metaphors such as spinning fibres into yarn or weaving threads on a loom. Point number 15, wow, okay, so Bail is essentially saying to Shin here that they aren't a team anymore. She's been mentioning the power Thrawn and his new empire could bring so much it's gotten to the point that Balin's like, yeah, you go get that power that you obviously want, I'm gonna go do my own thing that doesn't involve you anymore. Bye. Point number 16, Ahsoka and Huyang fly right over Ezra and Sabine, and yet the pair on the ground don't notice Ahsoka's ship being chased and fired at by a bunch of fighters. All they had to do was look up a tiny bit. Point number 17, oh there's the good boy. I was wondering where Sabine's howler was. I'm glad she didn't abandon him. Point number 18, okay, that effect of Ahsoka hitting the ground could have done with a bit more work. I actually thought she was going to jump out of the ship and use the force to cushion her landing, actually. Point number 19. It's a good thing none of the shooty nomads went after Ezra. Very convenient. Point number 20, with Ezra refusing to use the lightsaber and saying the Force is his ally, I was hoping we get a bit more than just some bog standard Force pushes from him. It would have been cool to see him using Force enhanced punches and kicks to cave in Nomad and Night Trooper armor, maybe not to the same level as Mace Windu in Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars series, but still just enough to show he's using the Force to enhance his strength. Point number 21, it's always cool to see someone use the Force to block a lightsaber, and the effect it has on Shin's here is similar to the effect it had on Rey and Kylo's in The Rise of Skywalker. I noticed, however, there was no such effect when Vader used the Force to block Reva's saber in Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I think rather than that being a lack of attention to detail, it instead actually showcased how effortless it was for Vader to block Reva's blade. Either that, or he's grabbing hold of the saber's hilt, the person's hand, or hell, maybe their entire body with the Force to stop them from swinging rather than blocking the blade itself. Point number 22, I really want to know who trained Baylan because they did an amazing job, since he can hold his own against Ahsoka even when she's using both her lightsabers. Dude's an absolute unit. Point number 23, I loved seeing the conflict on Baylan's face, whether to go help his Padawan or continue doing his own thing, since he knows Shin won't be any match for Sabine, Ezra and Ahsoka combined. Point number 24, hang on, Thrawn and Morgan are only now just realizing that Shin is fighting Sabine and Ezra on her own when they can very clearly see there's only 3 hexes lit up with colour. Point number 25, poor Shin, abandoned first by her master and now by Thrawn. It's not so great she rejected Ahsoka's help, and I'm worried what's going to happen to her if she finds and confronts Baylan in the next episode. To round all this off, my most disliked part of the episode goes to the not so great effect of Ahsoka hitting the ground after jumping out of her ship. A minor thing, but I still noticed it. And my most liked part of the episode goes to C-3PO laying the smackdown on Xiono. How dare he call the god of the Ewoks a mere droid. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Triple S Variety channel. Don't forget to do the 3 S's, and also why not leave a comment below pointing out anything I missed but you noticed. I would love to hear from you all. I've been Triple S, you've all been amazing, and I shall see you all in the next video.